So my name's Heather, and I don't pretend to be an expert in acrylic pouring at all. In fact, I'm a complete newbie, and because of this I'm doing a bit of an experiment because I really wanted to know what difference using titanium white would make to my pour instead of using mixing white. And I wanted to know what would happen if I used it as a base or if I used it with other colours on top. And I looked on the internet and on YouTube for tutorials about it, and I couldn't find anything at all. So I've decided to do it myself and just see what happens. And if they all look the same, well, at least I've tried and I've learned something. See, I've got my tray. Okay, so you can see here, I've got one tray with titanium white base, one tray with mixing white as a base, and then I'm going to put mixing white with a colour on top, black, and then titanium white with a black on top, and over here exactly the same, so mixing white on top and titanium white on top, and we'll just see what happens. So this is titanium white as the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour enough to cover. So here we go. And literally, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. I just want to give, and then I've got the spatula over here. I'm just going to make sure it covers it roughly. I mean, I don't know. I'm new. Very exciting. Okay, so these have both got titanium white, and I'm just going to put that in the corner. I'm going to use a different one. And here is my mixing white. So, wow, it does actually look quite different. I'm going to pour this in there. Okay, so, right, 4 little pieces of paper, and we've got titanium white as a base on these two, and mixing white as a base on these two. I've got my black. Okay, so this is going to be fun. No idea if this is going to work or not. And actually, I might have to put some more paint on. So let's see, this is mixing white. And I'm just going to see what happens when I pour. There probably isn't nearly enough ink on here. Okay, so that is it. Those are my finished pieces. So these two have got a titanium white base, and these two have got a mixing white base. But when I put the black on here, I've used it with mixing white in the top part, and this one I've used with titanium white. You can see these two have been used with titanium white. These two have been used with mixing white. Wow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them dry, see what happens, and so you can see them tomorrow, see what they look like, see if they've dried down any different. Okay, so it's 2 days later and my paintings are now dry. When I did these, I think the mixing white was just a teeny bit runnier or more fluid than the titanium white, so it's not totally scientific. But what I really notice about this is that where I've used mixing white on top, the blacks take priority. They seem to show more. Whereas when I've used titanium white on these ones, the white takes more dominance. And I also think there's some more interesting sort of graduations with the grey. So here you can see it's almost taupe, and I quite like that. I think it's been really useful. This one looks a little bit like a sort of ghost or a little monster in black. And you notice here that the edges are a bit more spiky, a lot more fluid. That might be the runniness. But I really notice there's so much black here. Black is the dominant colour and it's coming forward. Whereas where I've used titanium white, it's very much the white is taking dominance. I love this one. It feels like lava, and I love the little sort of the way the cells, I think actually the cells are more prominent where I've used titanium white. But it was just a test. They're not meant to be perfect. They were just meant to reveal what would happen if I used mixing white or titanium white. I'm not sure that it makes so much difference on the base. I mean, I definitely noticed there's more white on this one than this one. So I think if you want white and whites to really dominate, you need to use the titanium white base and titanium with your inks on top. And if you want the darker colours or the black to dominate, then you would need to use mixing white and mixing white. And then everything else is in between. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think? I'd love to hear what your comments are. And if you're interested in seeing more experiments with my paints, please like and subscribe. And you'll get a notification if I do any other videos.